Hello and welcome to Delapre, the Happy Abbey, a series of conversations with local people about Delapre Abbey and how it links to the wellbeing of the community. My name's Laura Graham, I'm a Northampton-based freelance writer and community activist, and in this episode I talk to Jodie and Harriet of the Wild Tribe. Yep, we've got two guests for the price of one on this episode, as we get to know the creative duo determined to show us how we can all be creative and earth-friendly. In this episode, we talk about well-being as it relates to arts and craft, how playing is for all ages, and why their attitude is just give it a go.
Welcome the Wild Tribe! Thank you! I should probably call you by your names, but the Wild Tribe is just such a lovely term, isn't it? So it might be worth you introducing yourselves to the listeners, though.
Yeah, great idea. So I'm Harriet, and I'm one half of the Wild Tribe.
And I'm Jodie, and I'm the other half.
And together you make a whole.
That's make a right. Whole. We do. All the other tribe members. Yeah. So as the Wild Tribe, we basically put on nature-based workshops for all ages, and we do any kind of craft, making, anything you can make with your hands, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, so many different activities that are they are based around craft, but we do a range of well-being based activities for a range of people. So yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing that then?
So as the Wild Tribe, we have been doing it since 2019, but we had a bit of a blockage in the middle. Won't name any names.
We had to adapt.
Yeah, we had to
Something
adapt.
happened. I don't know what that could be.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone noticed.
We won't mention it.
Yeah, but we've worked together for years.
We've worked together for over 10 years. We've been friends since we were 8 years old.
Aww.
So we know what each other are thinking through our eyes.
Yes, we just work telepathically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes the admin's very quiet, but we know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But we've been in the creative world together for up to 10, I think it's 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So we ran a business before based on event design, but then we wanted to focus on the workshops because we just saw so much benefit in bringing what we do to other people. So yeah, that's how we came about bringing the Wild Tribe into the world.
Oh, childhood friends.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah, we went to school together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Ecton Brook
Middle. We had a little business. We sold jewellery when we were like 8 as well, so it started early.
Oh, wow.
Always been a
business girls.
Yeah. We made a profit of £13.
We split it and probably went to
I don't know.
Grosvenor Centre.
Yeah, Peacock Place.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. I don't know if I've got any of school friends left.
Oh, no. So it's quite rare.
I think you do go off and do your own thing, don't you? Often, and we did. We both went to university in separate places.
Yeah,
and then just ended up working together again, didn't we? Yeah. So it kind of it was nice to go off and do our own thing, and then now we're just melted together. Yeah,
there's always been a magnet, hasn't there?
Yeah,
we can't keep away from each other.
Oh, it's nice. I think when you work together with somebody, or when you're friends, obviously you have a natural bond, but then when you can work together, I think it is rare. Because you can work with friends, and it's different, isn't it, when you work with someone you know?
Definitely.
Things come out that are different, But we have managed to, over the years as well, split it. So we meet up as friends, and then we meet up with work. Like we have two separate WhatsApp groups. So a work chat and then a friendship chat.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's really good, actually.
So it's separate.
Yeah. Because otherwise the lines are very blurred, aren't they? Yeah. You don't want your sort of work and friendship to sort of clash in any way.
We did get a few family members warning us, you shouldn't go into business with friends. But there was something from the beginning. We kind of trusted it would work. Yeah. I think we're quite good communicators together, aren't we? And quite honest with each other. So that helps. Yeah.
That's good. So, nature-based workshops, what does that mean?
So, what does it mean? Well, from a very simplistic point of view, nature-based, as in the materials we used are eco-friendly, earth-friendly. That's one of our core values, is that we want to make sure that we're not having an impact on the environment, a negative impact on the environment. And
that came, didn't it, from our previous experience of working in event design. We worked on weddings and at big exhibition halls. With an exhibition at somewhere like the Excel, they'd cover the floor in metres and metres of carpet, and it would be pink because it was the baby show, and then it would get thrown away afterwards.
There's a lot of waste.
That wasn't our side of things, but we'd see that side of things, and then our clients would pay us to do decoration, and then we'd have to use it afterwards and keep using it and keep making sure that it's not being thrown away.
We did our best, yeah.
But it's very wasteful as an industry, so it was something that we saw, and we said, how can we adapt this to what we, our core values of what we want to do. We were doing that kind of thing at home, recycling, reusing, and it felt like at work we weren't doing that, and we were being asked to kind of buy things from new, and it didn't feel right, did it? It didn't sit
Something
right
was
with us.
jarring, wasn't it? Yeah.
So the idea of using stuff that is biodegradable or can be reused, or even now we donate to nurseries, charities and schools, so we'll get stuff left over and we just give it to the nurseries and then they reuse it. So it's nice to keep that going and feel like you're not just wasting materials. So
and in regards to the workshops as well, we try and make sure as many of them are literally based in nature as well. So we love the idea of kids getting muddy or anyone getting their hands dirty. They're out in nature, and a lot of our workshops are about connecting people with nature, as well as the materials they're using come from nature. So I
think because of COVID also, I mentioned it.
Oh no, swear word.
People have naturally been forced outside in a way, like we haven't been able to go indoors. So children and families naturally are having to be outside, so they're connecting with it a bit more.
Definitely.
So I think it's a good time for us to be encouraging that. I think people are more on board with it now.
Absolutely. It's like people are much more at home in nature, and then we're presenting them with ideas and experiences and things you can actually do when you're outside, without taking away from the fact they are connecting to nature. And I think that's why the materials being nature-based is so important. It's not plastic, bright rainbow toys in nature. We tend to be more earthy with what we're presenting in the workshops as well.
And even cost-wise, I mean, when you've got 3 kids and you've got to buy materials for 3 lots of kids, that's really expensive. But if we're showing you how to collect twigs and wrap wool around it, and you can make this amazing thing that's just as beautiful, but actually you can forage for it first, and it's not going to cost you lots of money. And so that's our aim, is always to think of how we can make it easier and enjoyable for families and
exactly, and accessible for a wide range of people as well. So
And how did you get into it? What inspired you to do this?
So we're both creative, aren't we? And as we said, we ran a creative business before, but I think having children definitely triggered us wanting to bring what we do at home to everyone. So we're both quite active, creative mums, aren't we? Between us, we've got 3.5 children, and ranging from 0 to 4 years old. So we really felt that it would be great. What we're learning as mums, we could bring that to our business as well. So that was definitely a trigger, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Also, I think because we obviously worked in the event industry, we had a team of people helping us make things. So we'd be having to make 100 metres of bunting, and we'd have students come and work for us, didn't we, as well, which was people would be on work experience. We'd sit with them and we'd teach them how to make the bunting, and then we'd be like, this is the enjoyable bit, like teaching, something we've learnt, and then we can say, well, this is how we'd make it, and then we sit with them and we make it. It's like we were enjoying that side of things and actually being together and learning something together. So we were like, this is the nice part.
That's very true.
So
I think in a way,
how can we do that?
I haven't actually thought of it that way before, so that's interesting you said that, because I think a lot of people have always said to us, oh, your job's amazing, and it is, and that part of it is it's the using your hands, isn't it? That's the bit that we really loved. And so we're able to bring the part of our job that people were always a bit envious of, but bring it to them. So it's really fulfilling, isn't it? Like creating things with your hands.
And I think we always have this thing where we have workshops, and we'll always have a group of people. There'll be people that are really confident that just literally grab the materials and get stuck in. Oh, I've made this before, and I love making things. And then you'll get quiet people in the corner who are kind of a bit more nervous, and you'll go and talk to them and they'll say, I'm not creative, like what I'm making is awful,
it's like me.
Just don't look at me.
I'd be like, I don't know how do I make bunting?
Exactly. But then it's that thing of people do, if you're at school and you are naturally creative, you get told by a teacher, you are creative, you're artistic, and so you have that thing in your head, like I've always had it in my head, I am artistic and I'm not academic, but again, like I should probably look into doing other things, because I'm like kind of on that path, but it kind of scares you, doesn't it, the other side of it, so you think, oh, I'm not good at that, because you get labelled, don't you, at school. So kind of,
so true.
But we always say there isn't such thing as being like not creative, because it's making stuff with your hands. You might be amazing at like welding, but you've never done it. So we don't do welding.
No, we don't. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it's interesting, because I think it does sound actually really fun. I'd love to have a go. But we're quite different in our creativity as well. So at school, I always had a bit of a thing that was like, Jodie's so naturally creative. You were always like, I don't know, a bit more free.
Scribbly.
And I was a bit more, what's the word? Like a bit more coordinated, and like I straight lines.
You would draw it how it was, and then mine would be a bit smudgy.
Yeah.
And we used to be like,
what does that mean about
Why are
us?
they so different? Like, are they not?
Yeah, it's one right and one wrong.
Yeah. And that's what we realised. I think it's quite interesting, because we definitely both brought a different version of creativity when we were together. We kind of brought something completely different, but then we also do such a range of activities that we do cover all grounds in a way. And I do think, like you say, it's good to push yourself out of your comfort zone and try something. And the other thing we try and do in the workshops is give people a few basic skills that are not too difficult to then go away at home and try it out in your own time, because sometimes on the spot it can be a bit intimidating, like being watched, and some people prefer to create in private or in their own time.
It's about playing with stuff though, isn't it? So I think you're always told to make a product, like you're going to come here and make this, and actually as children you play. Like I see my daughter playing with Play-Doh and she's so creative and she'll grab things and stick in it, but as adults you don't play with things, do you really?
Well, you're encouraged not to, aren't you?
And like you need to make this for money.
It's like an expiry date, isn't it? It's like you can't play after a certain age.
So true.
And that's such a shame, because adults need play as much as children do. So
it's really
our
important.
thing recently is we haven't done forward rolls in a while. Was it forward rolls?
I tried a forward roll the other day.
Have you done a forward roll since you were a child?
Quite scary.
Really scary.
Prepare yourself.
But when do you stop doing a forward roll?
I don't know. I feel like every day you should do a forward roll just to keep reminding yourself.
It's really scary.
It's fun to play.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I winded myself.
It's quite dry here.
Let's not. Do you know, I still haven't learned how to do a handstand. I still can't.
That's another one.
I've never been able to. I can't do it, and I certainly can't do a cartwheel. Forget about it.
Never say never. Maybe that could be our next workshop.
I think it's okay to be pregnant and do a handstand.
I don't know, maybe.
Please don't.
Let's not try it.
I'm not sure the insurance will cover that. So. For anyone listening, we're sat at Delapre because where else would we be? And you can probably hear people walking around and birds cheeping and stuff. So we've got some lovely surroundings to be having our chat today.
Yeah. We meet here a lot, don't we, Jodie? We love to have a meeting at Delapre. Just even if it's sat outside, it's lovely.
It's so serene, isn't it, as well? And it just, I mean, there's a bustle around of people walking around, but it just feels like it's so strange that you're so near town. You literally drive up the driveway and it's just like peace.
Lovely.
It is really calming, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird that it's so close but so quiet. It's odd, but I think that's one of the great things about Northampton is we've got these spaces that we can access fairly easily. You know, you don't have to have a car to get here. You know,
exactly.
I've cycled here today, for example.
Lovely.
That was hard work. But you know, after talking to a few people on this series, I've learned that even little bits of exercise make a difference.
Great. So true.
Amazing.
For the day. But you've done some workshops here, haven't you? You've actually worked with Delapre. So do you want to sort of talk about what you've done before? And
that was at Christmas, isn't it? So we did like a festive season of various activities. Delapre do it's a wreath making, isn't it? They do with the volunteers. So that's run every year anyway. So we were kind of an add-on to that, really, weren't we, this year? So we were doing various activities. We were right up in I don't know what the room was called.
It was
we were
called
right
the Waterloo room, but it was a lovely room, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was upstairs. Beautiful, So we were up there and we did Christmas cracker making. So it was all with eco materials, wasn't it? So everyone made like their set of crackers for the table. We did 6 crackers.
It was good. We did air dry clay as well, which is lovely because we used foliage from the Abbey, from the grounds of the Abbey, to imprint into clay, create Christmas tree decorations. So that was lovely.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was really, really fun.
And then, I mean, it's the kind of, that is really basic in that you have your clay, and then obviously we had all the kit and everything to use, but loads of people were like, right, I'm going to go and get myself some clay now. Because once you play with air dry clay, it's like, I can make anything. You can make jewellery, you can make...
I didn't know there was such a thing as air dry clay. I thought you had to have a massive kiln to be able to...
It's amazing. It's literally a block, and then it dries, obviously, in air, and then you can make things like you've done before where you put them in scents, haven't you? So you can make a bangle, and then you can dip it in a scent, and then it
drop a bit of essential oil on it, and it actually smells amazing as well.
So there's loads of stuff. So in the workshops, we show how to make the Christmas decorations, but we'll show them images, and then we make samples. So you can go home, buy yourself some more, and just make any of this stuff yourself.
Exactly. So it's almost like that's part of what we want to do, is to encourage people to go home and carry on, not just a one-off workshop.
But that's what Delapre asked, didn't they, as well, for us to be able to teach people a skill. So it's learning how to make that one product, but also then they go away with the knowledge of like, I'm going to do that at home, and I'm going to show my friends this and my family, and so
and what else did we make? We made natural hand sanitizer as well, because we were right in the middle of, we're right between 2 lockdowns, weren't we? So we wanted to help people to make their own natural hand sanitizer, because sometimes it's really, I don't know about your hands, but it dries you out. And even with kids, it's nice for them to, if you're putting it on your kids a lot, to use the natural ingredients. So
that was cedarwood oil we used. That was amazing. So
it's just really lovely.
Stays on your hands all day.
Yeah.
And then we did soap making as well, which is always fun because it's just like a mess.
Squishy soap.
Like a beautiful mess.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
How do you learn all this stuff? Like, did you go to college and learn? Or like, how did
Not that kind of stuff. We just look online, don't we, at things and get ideas. And there's so much stuff, isn't there, on Instagram, and Pinterest is amazing for that kind of thing. And just natural ideas of how to make things and
just giving it a go. And I think that's one of the things that we say is that a lot of what we do is really, if you looked at it, it's quite simple and basic. It's not, you don't need to have a degree to create these things. Anyone can do it. And I think that's what we do. There's the odd thing we do that's very specific and very high skilled, but mostly it's accessible, easy, interesting skills to take home that the kids can even get involved in. So I think a lot of it we're doing at home with the kids as well, aren't we?
Yeah, trial it out first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If it's too much of a mess, like, that's off the list.
That's off the list. Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants mess.
No. We did try it out, didn't we, in my garden when we were allowed to be in a group. My school friends came over and we did a workshop with them, and they were good.
A lot of our friends
like,
are like the guinea pigs, aren't they?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, with a glass of prosecco. And
But if you ever need a guinea pig, that sounds like a good trade to me.
On the list.
It's good though, because I think that kind of thing worries me, that I would need some kind of art degree or at least basis in some kind of creativity. So it sounds like what you're saying is you've just given stuff a go and it's worked out right, and and you've just you want to share it with everyone else so that people can realise that it's easy and just get on and try.
Taking away the
hard thing is to try and get people to realise that, because I think when you see workshops come up and you might find it yourself, you think, well, I'm not creative, I wouldn't book that. So it's almost like making sure you can explain that it isn't that scary. It is actually a fun thing that you can do as a group. And
because I do remember seeing them advertise at Christmas, and I was like, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. There's no way I can do that. But actually, do you know what? Maybe just challenge yourselves to do something.
We actually had quite a range of people come along. We had some people that were obvious hardcore crafters, like they were like, oh, I know what I'm doing, I don't need any help.
And like mega Delapre fans, like I'm here every day.
They were like
hardcore
really
Delapre visitors.
And then we had the odd people that were like, I don't mean odd people, but the odd person. Sorry. That don't normally do craft things. And they were a bit more like rabbits in headlights, but like really wanted to get their hands involved, didn't they? And they were like, just help me. But they really wanted. Do you remember the amazing guy? I'm sure he won't mind us mentioning him, with the crackers. And he focused on his one cracker, and it got about halfway through and he didn't realise we were making 6 in one session.
Real panic. He just looked around because he was in the zone.
He was so in the zone.
He looked around, and I think he looked at his girlfriend who had made 4. And he was like, what? And
what?
I thought he was just making one perfect.
But it was
it's
okay.
Beautiful.
And
he obviously let him take the materials home. And he was, I think he would have spent hours on it still.
So we did have a real range of people. And that's the other thing. It's like, it doesn't have to be fast. It can be slow. You can make one cracker beautifully and slowly. It doesn't have to be like, right, there's a time limit on this.
It's so nice, isn't it, in the workshop when there's a bit of bustle at the beginning. Obviously, we do a demo and everyone's chatting, and then suddenly you have this like silence where everyone's heads are down and you can just see they're in the zone.
You're so in the zone.
Just like, we're at that calm stage.
We popped a bit of Michael Bublé on at that point, didn't we?
We did, of course we did.
Well, you got to get a festive, festive feel. And what kind of people go to your workshops then? Because you mentioned obviously there was a guy there, but I'm assuming that, I mean, do men go to crafty workshops?
They do,
The Christmas one was a variety, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but
it was.
I mean, I think often, I often book things for me and my husband. It's not necessarily him booking it. I'm like, oh, come into this. And then he really enjoys it. So I think it is hard to get a balance there, because how do you kind of promote directly to men? It's not something, craft is often seen as...
It is packaged as very female, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because...
It is. We'd love to make it more accessible, or more, I don't know, make men want to come, like, because I think most of the time they absolutely love it and they get really involved. And I know my partner, he's one of those guys that would take it very seriously when he's there, and he'd take his time, and it would be beautiful, probably be more beautiful than mine by the end. But
he wouldn't necessarily go out.
He wouldn't necessarily book it. It's something we're looking at.
And the other thing as well is, obviously we've got young families, so we always talk about daddies taking their kids out. Like both our partners, they have a day with the children, and they have like a daddy day and they go off and they do things, but they never meet up with a group of men and do something together with the kids. Like, so we have mummy groups, you know, as you do, there's lots of things going on, or you can book yourself into something really easily. But it's not, they can do it, but it's not advertised.
Not as accessible, it's not as easy for them to do.
So we'd love to do like a dad group at some point and run it. So it's like men meeting up and even doing woodwork with the kids. It's not, doesn't have to be that they're making girly things or
stereotypically.
So that's another thing we want to.
Let's smash those gender stereotypes.
Let's do it.
Bring down the patriarchy.
It's a big job.
We can start. We can try, can't we? So will you be doing more stuff with Delapre then, do you think?
We'd like to, definitely. It's
I think the fact that the grounds are so beautiful. And they're, you know, especially now, I think people are more comfortable being outside. Us promoting things like that will, I think, naturally be popular in that way.
Absolutely.
People are used to being outside in all weather now, aren't they? They're a bit more hardy than they used to be.
Well, today's the first day we're allowed to go inside, and we're not inside.
We're outside.
I totally forgot we could go inside.
We've
got to build up to that.
I'm not used to it anymore. It's not in my thought process.
No.
But it's quite nice being out. And do you know what? I would never, like before COVID, said it again, but I would never have sat outside like this. If the option was to be inside in this type of weather, which is absolutely, it's fine. It's quite mild. It looks like there's a chance of rain, but you know, it's fine, isn't it? I never would have sat outside, but actually sitting outside, breathing in the fresh air, seeing some lovely trees and stuff.
It's so good for us. I feel like after this meeting, we won't even know why, but we will feel so much better than if we'd just been inside. And I think the natural instinct would be to meet any sort of coffee meeting would be inside, but now I think it's changed.
It won't go back to the
I don't think
hopefully we've all learned something from it.
I feel it's a bit changed. Do you? Very changed
in many ways.
So many ways.
Definitely. And so your activities are very much sort of well-being focused, aren't they? But for people who aren't used to like the idea of crafting, or I don't know what the word is that you would use for it, but they're not used to sort of making that link between that and that activity and well-being. Explain it to us, like how does it work?
That phrase well-being it has so many connotations, doesn't it? I think some people maybe even put off by that.
I mean, I think when you put it down to what it is in the basics of it, is that you're using your hands to make something, and there's something about that. It's almost like art therapy. It's your brain goes into just a zone of making something, which is obviously natural to us all. It doesn't always feel natural, but there's something about it when you're into something and you're making something that just feels really just simple.
Slowing yourself down. It's a form of meditation sometimes, isn't it? To just sit and make something with no strict time constraint. Because even cooking is creative, but we're all doing it fast, aren't we? We're trying to speed through everything we do. And I think for us, it's just creating that space, whether it's outside, mostly outside, with natural materials, and just slowing down and focusing on something. And that's so good for your well-being, isn't it?
Like we talked about how everybody gets very quiet, but there's that is that lovely time where everyone's just calm.
That's the golden moment.
We know what we're making. We've got everything together.
And
we're just slowly just getting through it. There's no rush. That's the best time of it.
We try and really make that an important point, don't we, that there is no rush here. You can take your materials home. We always have little paper bags so that if anyone feels like they're not going to complete the task, they can take it home. And because I've been to workshops before where you do feel like you're trying to keep up with the fastest person. I think for us, we're trying to just strip that away, aren't we?
The cracker man fear.
The cracker man fear. We've all been the cracker man.
We have. I really hope he hears this.
I do too. He's become quite important in our life.
It's nice that you can learn from different experiences and learn from the interactions that people have, and then develop it. Because obviously now you'll always have cracker man in the back of your head, and sort of reassuring everyone that they don't have a time limit and that they can just go at their own pace. I think that's really important as well.
It's all part of making that activity work for you, and I think that's it. It's not one box and one idea fits all. It's that you can come along, anyone can come along and do it at their own pace, their own level of skill, whatever that means, and come away feeling like they've benefited, even if it's just for that moment. They never make it again, but in that 2 hours they've had some moment of calm and creativity. They've helped their creativity.
And sometimes it takes being given a task where you've booked something or you arrive somewhere to do it, for you to get into that zone. It's hard sometimes to be at home and go, I'm going to meditate now. So sometimes for someone to be like, I'm going to sit here and do this, and that's their form of meditation.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you actually sit down to do a task,
something creative.
Yeah, you get into that creative flow, don't you?
Definitely. And it is hard sometimes in the lives that we live to carve that time out, and even finding space at home. Like we talk about messiness, but some people feel a bit triggered by mess and they don't want to do that at home, but to go somewhere else to do that, make them, we'll tidy up.
we do it all. We love it.
Yeah.
So bring your kids along, let them make loads of mess, and walk away from it.
Yeah, easy when it's outside as well. It all biodegrades. We just walk away.
We do. We
tidy up.
Tidy.
And so is it just mainly for families then that you've got these types of workshops, or can anyone, like, I don't have kids, can I come along?
Yeah,
I think we tend to be in that space because we live and breathe it at the moment, because that's where we're at, but it's certainly not the only people that we're focusing on. So anyone.
With the Christmas Delapre workshops, that was nice because we had an ideal age range, but the soap making was for all ages. So we literally had retired groups of a group of women doing retired, and then there was like a 5-year-old girl making soap because it's just fun.
Yeah.
So
that's lovely for that intergenerational thing as well.
Yeah,
it was, and it was mixed, wasn't it? It was
a real mix.
It was never really just kids in a room, or it was families came, and then obviously the parents would focus as well. The kids, so it was like it was a real variety, which was nice. We tried to keep it as broad. There's like an ideal range. Obviously, there's a level where they can't reach the table if they're too young. We do have, when we do outside spaces, we have low crates, so children can come and play with the same stuff, and then
I think the idea as well, we want the activities to be accessible to all as well, because so for example, if the parents are making something, you want them to be enjoying the activity as well as the children. I think it's really nice for the kids to see the parents enjoying it as well. And also, nothing we do is particularly really kiddie or patronising to kids. It's very much like they can make the hand sanitizer as well. And we make the ingredients so that they can use them. There's no harsh chemicals, or everything's very natural. And I think it's nice for the kids to be doing these activities that feel like they're important, like creating something that they can use. It's not just the idea that they're just playing with toys or something like that. So I feel like that's an important aspect of what we do, is like connecting, like you said, intergenerational, connecting mum with child or dad with child as well, and that's something they can create together and use together as well.
It's not about patronising the child, like you need to make this monster. I don't know.
It's like
you'll make, we're doing, in the summer we're doing robot making, but it's woodwork basically. And threading rope and things. But I know we designed it, but I really can't wait to make these robots.
Exactly.
Genuinely, just take the kids away. I want to make a robot on my own. It is for all ages. So
basically, you're just indulging yourselves, aren't you?
Exactly.
Just what we want to do.
Play. We always say, so like, when are we going to get a real job?
It's not happened yet.
No.
Don't ever do it.
It's a trick.
No one needs a real job.
No. We've got away with it so far.
Just don't let anyone find you out.
No,
right?
exactly.
Keep it under the radar. And this series, we've talked quite a lot about wellbeing in lots of different ways. So I've talked to loads of interesting people about wellbeing linked to exercise or to meditation, or even to finding out about your history or accepting yourself as a person. Like, there's loads of facets to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Why do you think that making an effort and taking time to focus in on well-being, whatever that might be, is actually important?
Such a big question, but I think when you said that, for me, I did think about like the speed of our lives that we're living, and we are living fast lives, fast food, everything's fast. And like you mentioned about money, everyone needs to make a living as well. So we're often in this serious world, aren't we, of trying to get by, and it's quick. And so I think for us, it's that play, that creativity, but also slowing down as well and finding that zone.
Time feels precious, doesn't it? It feels like you have little pockets of time as opposed to just part of your life, just doing it as
you
part
can't
of your
just
life.
live in the flow all the time. It doesn't feel that easy in our world, in our society. So we're just trying to create, aren't we, that little escape.
And then you've got that pocket of time to be able to do something, or to have a skill where you can just go, right, even if I've got 15 minutes, I've got that moment of calm, and I've got those things I can use, and it's easy to access. It's not going to cost a lot. I'm going to grab that thing and make that thing, and that's my meditation. And that's my form of keeping calm. And
mindfulness, another buzzword at the moment, but it does feel like we all need that space. We really do. And I think even, dare I say it, COVID has helped us all to see in many different ways. I know everyone's had a different experience, but certainly for us, we've seen that slowing down can actually be really beneficial. And yeah, it's not always easy. And we were always saying, are we going to go back to a new normal, or are we going to take something with us? And I hope we all managed to do that, because I think we had to slow down. We didn't have a choice really, did we? But it did help us to see that there's a lot of benefit in that.
I think naturally you just book things in, and people have got this thing happening, and you just go, okay, I've booked all these things in, and actually you realise we were actually okay not doing that. We were happy just being at home, or learning, or going on a walk, or it can be simple what you do. You don't have to be doing all these fancy things, and so it's kind of changed. I think everybody's had a bit of a change with their mindset in that way.
You don't have to spend a lot of money to feel good, you know. That's it, walking, like we were saying earlier, walking around somewhere like Delapré, that's free. You know, you don't have to pay for it. And foraging for, you know, resources, things to use, keeps costs down, doesn't it? So you're arming people with those skills that they can then translate to their sort of everyday lives, which I think is really important. It's not a one-off thing that you've got all the specialist kit and they can never use it again.
That's it.
It's exactly that. I
really like that. I'm definitely going to come to one of your workshops. I mean, who doesn't want a robot in their lives?
Exactly.
So how do people find out about you, get involved? Like, what have you got coming up that people can get involved with?
Well, there's quite a range of ways, but obviously you can check us out on Instagram, on social media. We're quite up to date on that at the moment, aren't we? We're trying to share everything we're getting up to.
We've been really busy, haven't we, planning all the summer events at the moment. So we've been doing all the design work, and obviously it's all kicking off now. So it's all happening, which is amazing, because for us, you know, obviously we've been doing a lot of stuff online, which has been interesting, isn't it? We've been able to adapt how we work, but now it feels real. Like we're going to be doing real life events. A lot of in-person stuff, which is so exciting. The best part, isn't it? So we'll be putting lots of things up about the summer coming soon. We've got a summer camp that we're running for 6 weeks at 3 locations across the country at a glamping website. A glamping site. So that's called Cloud9, isn't it? So if you fancy a glamping trip, I know it's the dream, really, isn't it? And we're going to be the craft hub there, so people can come along and during their stay, the kids can go and make something. So like Jodie said, robots, we're doing all sorts of things. We've even got like a baby club, so a nature sensory baby club for the young ones. And Earth Heroes is one of the they're allowed to be a superhero and save the planet. So that's the fun one we've come up with.
So that would be great fun.
I want to be an Earth hero. Do I get a cape? Oh my god. Please do these versions just for adults.
We all do that at Delapre, don't we? Adult superheroes.
Adult Earth Heroes,
We can just all be silly together. That sounds really good. So people need to look out for you on Instagram, and you're on Facebook as well, aren't you? What's your handle?
So on Instagram we are wildtribe_adventures.
Well done,
thank you. It was like a test. And on Facebook I think we're Wild Tribe Adventures.
Without
the underscore.
Cool. So people should look you up, follow you, like your stuff, share it, and book on to some workshops and get involved.
We should be doing more and more as the summer goes on. So at the moment, I think you can book onto the workshops through Cloud9, but you have to be going on holiday with them on the glamping. Right. And we're working with Big Feastival as well. So we're doing the kids area there. So we're curating an amazing. It's called the Little Explorers Club.
That's it.
So we're curating that. So
doing lots of lovely activities for the whole weekend. Big Feastival's an amazing festival. It's in the Cotswolds. It's not too far. But that's really good.
So that's awesome. So you can get tickets to that now.
Food and music together. It's great.
Sounds great. And hopefully you'll be doing some more stuff at Delapre
in the future.
That's it.
Got lots in the pipeline that we haven't popped up yet, but if you keep your eyes peeled, we'll be putting that soon.
It's all getting real now and exciting.
So exciting.
I know. And I'm watching a group of people have set up a gazebo. They're obviously like some kind of social group, because people can get together in big groups now, and it's making me excited for your workshops.
I've just seen them, isn't it now?
I've seen them out the corner of my eye, and I'm just like, oh my god, we can
go and join them after.
They're allowed to cuddle, aren't they?
Yes.
Should we go and cuddle them?
Yes.
A little bit.
No, let's cuddle everyone. Safely, obviously. Like however that.
What does that mean?
I don't mind wearing a mask if it means I can cuddle every single person. I really don't mind. Well, it's been lovely speaking to you both today. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. And do check out Wild Tribe.
What fantastic energy Jodie and Harriet have. Can you imagine going to one of their workshops? How much fun you'd have. Sign me up. They've made me realise that creativity is for everyone. So I am there, and I hope you are too. If you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed talking to the lovely Jodie and Harriet of the Wild Tribe, please like and share it. Go and follow them on social media, check out their website. They're such lovely people doing great stuff and having a lot of fun along the way. And check out further episodes in this series.